All right, I'll start letting them in.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Hello. Hi, nice to see you all. Wow, we have Nigel here today. Welcome. And Alicia, both from the UK. Hello. And Sharon, are you new? Are you new? Welcome. Welcome to our Jin Shin community. So I just finished 2 workshops, one in Belgium and one in Amsterdam, and it was really wonderful. There was so much energy, and the students were really doing very well. I mean, there were a lot of new students, and by the end, they were all giving complete sessions, listening to pulses, body reading. I was like, I don't know how we're going to do that. And by day 4, it was unbelievable. They were all comfortable with it and talking about it. And I put some on Facebook so you can take a look. For the new people, we use our hands to harmonize the energy in our body. I guess you read up about it. And today I wanted to work with the heart flow, because sometimes in the afternoon we get this lull and we feel really tired. So the heart flow peaks between noon and 2 o'clock. So I actually just had a client who explained that he was going through that. And when I brought that to the class, they all said, oh, it's the heart flow. So it's a wonderful flow. The heart is a very strong organ, and generally it's hard to damage it, I would say. So sometimes it's another energy that's burdening it. But so they're actually in the book, there are very few symptoms with it, because it's such a strong organ by itself. And so anyway, while I'm talking, we can start holding the little finger, because that's the quick hold. In Jin Shin, we work with cycles of energy, which we call depths, and the heart flow lives on depth 5, and the function is our skeletal system. So the heart flow will help our skeletal system, and also the little finger does. So the little finger is the quick hold to harmonize the whole depth. Okay, so let's just take 3 breaths here. So of course, the heart flow is also good for opening our heart, helping the heart chakra. When we have deep emotions going on, then the heart flow is very comforting. And so let's place one hand on our 11 and the other hand on the 17. And I automatically went to my right side. I guess I'm still unloading from from teaching and talking a lot. And the 11 is a very important location, because all of the organ flows move through it. It's really astounding. The toe flows move through the 11s, and also the finger flows. And I think the face flows do too. So the 11s is where, when we have stress, we pile it up right here on our 11s. And so you can just place your fingertips in there and just see if there's any tight spot there. And then just breathe into it and see if you can release it, if it can open up. We always stay a few breaths longer with the first step of each flow, because the first step is really the facilitator to open up the whole flow, and the facilitator to all the other locations that we're holding. So on the 17, 17 is right here on the joint, on the wrist joint. I think you have it right, Alicia. Yeah, it's right here. And you can stick your thumb in there, or your fingers, whatever is more comfortable. This or like this. And so on the inside of the arm, we have the heart flow, and on the outside of the arm, we have the small intestine. Now, if you have a heart project, maybe it's wise to practice it on the left side, because the heart actually lifts on the left side of the body. So energetically, a flow helps both sides. But if you have a specific project like heart, practice it on the left side. So probably you find some tightness in there. So again, just feel it release. It really opens up quickly, but we hold it really for a few minutes or minimum of a few breaths. But I'm still on it. It feels actually feels good. This first step, this is almost like a location number 17, right? Or it is, yeah, we're on the 17. And my mind is still a little tired from the class. Anyway, 17 opens up our third eye, our intuition. And opening our intuition is important because we can let ourselves be guided by our intuition. Very often, and most of the time, really, when we were studying in the class, people were, of course, they were learning so much information. But then ultimately, we use our intuition. Where do you place your hands? And most of the time, you will be right. Right on wherever you place your hands. That's why we don't really need to look for the place. We know innately where to go, and 17 helps with that. All right, let's take one more breath here. Exhale completely all the way to the toes. And then let's move our hand to 22 on the opposite side, right? So from this side, you go to the opposite side. 22 is right below the collarbone here. 22 helps us to exhale. 11 and 22 is a wonderful combination. 11, inhale, 22, exhale. So we don't even have to do anything when we practice Jin Shin. The breath happens automatically. And also in the workshops, we were talking a lot about the breath because that's where the healing takes place, is with the breath. It's not everything else we do. It's really to get us into this state of breathing. So allowing for the exhale all the way to the toes so that we can inhale. So some people ask, what do we do first, exhale or inhale? And think about it. I mean, for a lot of people, the exhale is very important because we always running and doing, and so we're inhaling and we forget to exhale. And so in the exhale, when we let go completely at the big toes, there is a gap, a moment of quietness from which the inhale begins. And if we're not completely empty, then it's hard to really receive the deepest inhale. So that's why it's important to exhale. And so at the tip of the toes, there is a moment of quiet, a space, a gap, at which really the healing takes place before we inhale again. Very nice. So you probably will feel a pulsation now. That's the energy moving, the energy spiraling all the way from the skin surface to the core and back to the surface. And you feel the pulse changing, like you feel the texture changing. So that's that it goes deeper into the body, spiraling, and then spiraling back to the surface. Very nice. And then let's move our hand to 14 on the same side here. And this is a great flow also for the heart flow, is great for eye projects. It moves through the eyes, and also elbow projects, tennis elbow projects like that, shoulder projects, although it moves kind of through the front of the arm, right? So if you have a project on your arm, it's a good one. elbow, tennis elbow, projects like this, it moves here on the little finger side. So if you have that, then you can, hold it right there where it feels tender. So with the 14, we're opening up our waistline, and actually 11 opens up our hip line. And the heart flow in and of itself is a chest flow. So we're seeing so many different levels where the heart flow starts to harmonize at our chest line with our emotions, our waistline calming the mind, and then our hip line, our physical body. And then let's move our hand to 15. 15 here at the top of the hip. And 15 is important because it brings about joy and laughter into our lives. And that's so important for our heart. When we are sad, it definitely burdens the heart, the physical heart, and we close our heart. So in Jin Shin, we always have the physical, the philosophy, the awareness, the psychology, the understanding. All of them are important because they're all part of who we are. So let me just show you here. This is 15. And then we go to the opposite one here. When you feel ready, if this still feels good, just you can stay under 15 a little bit longer. It actually felt good to me for some reason, so I'm going back there. You can always move back a step if you're like, oh, well, I wasn't really done yet, and I started to rush. So 15 is great for circulation, blood circulation, circulation in the legs. When you have restless legs, projects like that, 15 is important. And then, okay, let's move on to our 1, the prime mover, allowing us to move forward. And just take a little feel on your 11 now if it's starting to change. And maybe you want to move your hand a little bit closer to the neck. See if, you find another tight spot. You can open that one up too. Okay, taking a few more breaths. So the 1 is also good for our digestive system and digesting our emotions, which the heart flow is very much about. And also, if you have heart projects, this one gives it an escape route, because we always want to move projects that are above the waist, bring them down. So with the 1, we bring them down out of the upper body. Very nice. And then we will go from 1 to 5, location number 5, which is, let me just show you here. Oops, here. So we have the ankle bone. So right below the ankle bone is 5, and there's different lines that move through it, the kidney, the liver, and the spleen. So you can place your fingers if you're not sure where, or if you want to feel around, you can just feel the tight spot, if there is any. 5 is wonderful to revitalize our body. The 3 toe flows move through it. The liver, kidney, spleen move through the 5. And the liver, kidney, and spleen, they are really for the root energy of our body, for the foundational energy. And they help so many different things. Come take the class. I know some of you will. So then you'll learn all about its details. And then lastly, we go to the 7, which is at the pad of the toe. And you can go to the tip of the toe. This is the classic 7, is right here. So you can hold that, or you can hold all the way on the tip, whatever feels good. Because At the tip of the toe, the exhale becomes the inhale. And so if we want to give that some energy, that moment of space, that stillness, you can go on the tip. But you also may feel that on the pad, it feels really good. That's our location number 7, which is really powerful. It clears the head, and it means perfect life power. So who doesn't want that? Perfect life power. Wonderful. So we do have a few minutes. I just want to move through the other side briefly without talking. So we'll take 3 breaths per hold. So hold the other 11 with the 17. If you're just joining, we are practicing the heart flow together. 3 breaths, and then move your hand to 22. So the second side usually will go faster. And so it's nice to just move through the locations. Exhale, and then let's move to 14 at the base of the ribs. You can fill up your chest area with the breath and then let it go completely. And just notice the difference between the right and the left sides. Which one feels more comfortable for you? How does this 11 feel? And then let's move to 15. Mary Burmeister said she's the lady who brought Jin Shin to the West. I never found any good antiques in the 11s. We hold on to the old stuff here and, just let it go. We don't need it. We don't need to carry all the baggage. So Jin Shin allows for us to leave that behind, to drop it. Right here, right now with the breath. And then let's move to 1. Very nice. And then to location number 5 on the ankle bone. Oops. 5. You can again place your thumb in it if that's more comfortable. And then lastly to location number 7. Very, very nice. So gently take off your hands, and then I would like to show you the heart mudra, which is one of my favorite mudras, and it goes like this. You place these fingers, place your hand like this, and then slide your fingers in like this and squeeze. All right, so it's if that's too confusing, you can just hold your little finger. Little finger harmonizes the heart energy. So you have the thumb on the outside and then this finger. So you're holding the little finger and the ring finger. That's the heart mudra. And that's great for heart palpitations. If you have heart palpitations, again, on the left side is really great. And you squeeze, and that will really stop those heart palpitations, or good for any heart projects. So yeah, so is there anybody that has anything to share, an experience, or anything you like to say or ask? You can do so now. This is, of course, in the meetup group. Nigel, you're leaving? Oh, you have one. Yes. Hi, Nigel.